Hello everybody, welcome to the weekly bump for the week of Monday, September 12th. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. So as always, we have 3 piles, pile 1, 2, and 3. The timestamps for each pile will be found in the description box in the comment thread down below. So take a moment. Some people feel intuitively drawn and others do not. If you're the person that doesn't, that's perfectly fine. I always say take a moment and just randomly pick one, and likely there will be a message in there for you somewhere. However, if you do like to take your time, now would be an excellent time to pause the video and kind of feel your way through. We're just using 3 different decks the way we did last week. And as a quick reminder, for those of you who are subscribed on my website, janeinternational.com, please don't forget to log in and take a look at the weekly extended readings that I do for each zodiac sign. Okay? All right. Timestamps in the description box in the comment thread down below, and I'll see you in just a sec. Alrighty, pile number 1, you selected the Light Seers Tarot. So let's go ahead and see what comes through for you guys for this week. 6 of Swords. Queen of Swords. Let's start with these 3. So I feel like you've really gotten the ball rolling with something, okay? You're pretty far down the line. You've committed to something. And this Queen of Swords, though, first of all, I don't see any kind of giving up or flaking out or anything like that. But I do feel that this is a week where you're really going to need to put forth a lot of commitment and determination into that thing. That there is this quality of pushing through certain obstacles with that 5 of Wands. I don't know that it's going to be like the easiest week in terms of seeing results. There has to be a lot of faith this week. And as the moon is waning and we're making our way toward that new moon in Libra on the 25th, I do feel like there's going to be a little bit of a reduction in energy as the moon comes through Taurus. Now, the moon as of today is officially coming off of Chiron. You may have felt that throughout Sunday, just kind of a more tired or sleepy or a disconnected kind of day. You just may have needed to take a little bit of a break. Now, as the moon comes into Taurus, it will come in contact with the North Node in Uranus. And then a couple days after that, it will be in contact with Mars. And so there's going to be like these bursts of energy and these bursts of momentum, but it's going to kind of fluctuate and have a little bit of volatility there. So this is really where our commitment and our grand vision, we really need to have those things in order to continue, or in order to motivate us to really continue. This, I feel like this month, really August, September, has been a time when a lot of people who don't have that conviction will quit. They'll quit, they'll flake out, they'll give up, they'll move on. But the people that stick to their guns, the people that say, no, I don't care how I feel today, I'm still going to do something to progress this forward. I may not be having the best day, or I may feel a little bit tired. I'm not saying don't honor what you're feeling, and I'm definitely not saying repress stuff. But it's like you can feel those things and go through that process and still continue forward in some way, shape, or form. With that 6 of Swords, there's certainly movement that is either needed or required, or that is inevitable, because you are just that determined. You are just that determined to at least take one more step. Every day, one more step. Every day, one extra thing that will add to the completion of this process. Ace of Cups. The Devil. Death, rebirth, reversed. Now, we do have the Sun in kind of an interesting angle right now with Saturn. And it's coming into an opposition with Neptune as well. And I feel like the sun right now, which is our vital energy, it's our ambition, our soul's drive, our soul's desire. It is kind of like it's hitting up against this devil stuff, right? So our ego and our blockages and our attachments and some of our traumas maybe surfacing up at this time. You know, the temptations may start creeping in, the temptations to revert back into something that is comfortable, something that is known or familiar, even if that thing is not necessarily healthy for us. The temptation is certainly there. So with this Ace of Cups, though, we are leading with our hearts, which I think is a really important thing, to lead with our heart, to lead with what we know is our ultimate destiny, and not being willing to compromise or to give up or to cave to certain things. We have to embrace this death rebirth process wholeheartedly and say, you know what, I am becoming something and someone either of greater value or in a state of greater fulfillment and satisfaction. I am becoming someone who is more at peace, and I am willing to continue to trek forward. See, the thing with Virgo season is that we have to take things step by step and make simple yet highly impactful, or well, that's not really a word, but making changes that have high impact in our daily lives and our daily habits. So small scale change for large scale benefit. And so sometimes we look at things and we're like, well, it doesn't really seem like, you know, if I dedicated an extra 15 minutes to this thing, or if I made a change to my diet in this way, or if I did a little extra 10 minutes of exercise, in the immediate short term, it doesn't necessarily seem that important or that relevant. However, there is a long-term projection kind of unfolding. And the people that do give it that little bit of extra effort and emphasis, and who kind of are willing to go to bat with themselves, to go to bat with their comfort zones and with their attachments, the people who are willing to do that are the ones who will, I want to say win, but I know this is not a competition, but they are the ones that will reach those new heights, let's say that. Reach new levels of income, new levels of love, new levels of commitment, new levels of passion, new levels of, of their lifestyle. You do have a lot to share, and you know that. And you may have had like a really strong push, but now as the sun, especially as the sun comes into this opposition with Neptune, okay, this is not an easy transit. Sun versus Neptune is actually one of my least favorite. Okay. Personally, I'm going through my natal sun in opposition with Neptune, and it has not been the best in terms of energy. Okay. So energy-wise, it may not really be there for us, but even if we have to like kind of push our way through, we may feel a little bit more mechanical. We may feel more robotic or whatever, right? Where we're just going through the motions. But I actually don't think that's a bad thing. You may be going through the motions, maybe not entirely energized the way you have been. But the love is still there. The desire to provide value, the desire to contribute, the desire to share, it's still there. And you have set new standards for yourself, and I know you don't want to bend on those. The Queen of Swords, she's very determined. She has that conviction. She will not bend, and she won't allow herself to cave. Okay, because I feel like this devil is trying to get you to cave in some way. It's trying to get you to give in or to give up or to release, or to say, oh no, it's okay if I don't do it today, or no, it's okay if I don't, X, Y, or Z, because that higher part of you is like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. And even though we do need you to rest, and please do get your rest, we don't want to settle right now because we are in that process of transformation and we have to kind of keep going. Now, there will be a time when we can kind of go into our little cocoons and we can go into our holes or stay at home or whatever it is we need to do to kind of, regroup and all of that. But I feel like there was a lot of momentum throughout the summer. And as we're making our way through these last couple of weeks of summer, right, because the sun officially enters into Libra here in the next 10 days. So as we are making our way into autumn, these last 10 days, we kind of need to really just suck it up and go and push. And then when that vernal equinox hits and then we have that the new moon in Libra, we're going to have kind of a new approach to things, all right? Because we're now in the autumn or in the change of season. And so these last 10 days, it's very important to remain committed. And things will start to change later on, and that's fine. But just give yourself 10 days of a full commitment, 10 days of a final push. Let yourself rest when you need to, though. I'm not telling you to repress stuff or to go past the point of exhaustion, but just give it one little extra oomph if you can. Building blocks. Yeah, beautiful. Because you are building something, and whatever it is you're building, it has to be set up one block at a time. All right. So that's why the small things matter in Virgo season. With Venus here as well, you are going to care about it. Okay. Because Venus represents the things that we value. We do care about, having a clean environment, and we do care about getting those emails sent out, and we do care about fixing the issues, and we do care about, resolving things. All right. Let's do a moon. I always like this deck. This is one of my favorite decks. I feel like it's relevant and always has a really good voice. Okay. Conclusions are within reach. Yeah. So again, when I'm talking about this, I don't mean you have to keep going forever. I just mean until the sun enters into Libra, or at least until the sun comes off of that opposition with Neptune. You are coming to a point where the turnover and the fruits of your labor are going to start to become apparent. You're going to be far enough down the road that turning back makes absolutely no sense. So you are going to keep going, but I don't think you've reached that point yet. So this is the week that's going to get you to that point where continuing is the only logical solution or the only logical strategy. So you will come to a conclusion. You will reach an end point of whatever it is you're working on. You will reach your destination. But this week is really what's going to make it or break it. So be sure to stay committed. Acknowledge the sun opposition with Neptune, though. Please acknowledge that and say, okay, I may be feeling a little drained. I may be feeling a little tired. I may need to go to bed a little bit earlier than normal. But if you have to do those things, then please match that during the day when you have that rush of motivation, whenever that time of day is for you, whether it's right when you wake up or mid-afternoon or whatever. But to honor those times and to take those times seriously and say, okay, well, now I'm feeling really good, so let's just pedal to the metal and do it while I'm feeling like this. Okay, honor the feelings, whether they are on the tired side or on the more energized side. Okay? All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much, you guys. Have an amazing week. And again, don't forget, if you are a subscriber, please log in and check out the extended for the Zodiac signs for the week. All right, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 2, you selected the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to start with just 3 cards at first. Okay. 8 of Coins, the Emperor. 7 of Cups. Okay. There's certainly an element of determination. This came out for pile 1 as well. 8 of Coins. I know you're working. I know you're doing your best. I know you're putting your all into it. I know you're dedicated, you're committed. And with that Emperor energy, I also know that you are going to succeed, that this is going to be something that really levels up your life in some way. Now, the Seven of Cups does suggest a feeling of either confusion or being lost a little bit, or having just a lot of options in front of you and not being fully sure. Maybe you kind of overloaded yourself with a lot of work as well, and maybe you're not quite sure which to prioritize. But I am going to tell you that for the next 10 days until the Sun moves into Libra, right? Slow and steady will continue to win the race. You don't have to do it all at once. It doesn't have to be this giant thing, right? Small and steady and small incremental focus, daily to-do lists, daily checking off the tasks, all those kinds of things will be very, very helpful. The moon is waning right now. It's coming off of that full moon that was conjunct Neptune in Pisces. And it's going through a little bit of a volatile environment. Okay, it just came off of Jupiter and Chiron in Aries. In the next couple of days, it's going to be coming in contact with the North Node and Uranus, and then it's going to be hitting up against Mars and Gemini. Okay, so it's got quite a little bit of a journey ahead of us this week. There's going to be some volatility, some ups and downs. I said that for pile one as well, but I think that you're being affected by that too. The thing is, though, is that Emperor has so much of a sense of purpose. He has so much of a sense of a mission. Look, if you don't have a mission in your life right now, and especially if you're in a partnership of some kind, a marriage or a business partnership or something, this would be a fantastic week to sit down with your person or yourself, if you're by yourself, and really ask yourself, what it is that you're doing with this life of yours. What are you doing, right? Like what are you trying to build? What are you trying to create? What are you trying to bring into or to birth in this world? What are you trying to contribute? Because if you're not sure, and if you're having a hard time defining it, it's going to be really hard to stay organized. It's going to be really hard to prioritize which tasks are more important. It's going to be hard to make choices. So putting yourself in a state of mind where it's easy to make choices could be like the best thing you ever did this week, right? Because if you have some sense of direction, you can very easily say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, right? To whatever is coming at you. And you can say, okay, well, this isn't important today. And maybe it's something that still needs to get done, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be done today. It needs to get done, but does it need to get done today? No? Okay, well then maybe I can move it, once these other 5 things are completed, then I can come back and revisit that. And so staying organized, get that to-do list, on your phone or in, I don't know, some people still like the old handwritten planners or calendars or whatever, however you manage things or however you remember things. This would be a good week to really get organized in that way. And that will help you actually through Libra and Scorpio seasons as well. Because remember, from Leo season, a lot of the things that we were building upon, we have this from Leo to Sagittarius trajectory, right? From fire to fire. So between Leo and Sag, there's a lot of growth and a lot of expansion that happens. And with that growth and that expansion, staying organized and staying on top of things and staying energized and staying focused, all of those things are really important. Now, as we finish off Virgo season, it may be a good idea to really check in with your health as well. Because sometimes if we have, speaking from someone who knows firsthand, if you have issues with your health, sometimes it can be really hard to stay focused, right? If you have brain fog or if you have fatigue, and coming into a place of knowledge and understanding of what those things are actually symptoms of. Are you actually dealing with a physical illness, or is it more emotional or psychological? Maybe it's both, maybe it's one or the other. But getting into tune with your body, that's why I said at the beginning of Virgo season, like take care of, your dentist appointments, your doctor's appointments, and all your things. Get all yourself checked out, because you want to make sure that your body, your physical earth component, your vessel is running optimally. And if it's not, please get it checked out. Okay, come into knowledge. If you're avoiding anything, that's not going to help you. Being in avoidance or in denial is not in your best interest in any capacity. Okay, 6 of Coins. Page of Wands reversed. That one definitely wanted to come out. Okay, Knight of Swords. So I don't know that this Knight of Swords is your energy. I feel like you're kind of at the Emperor here since he came out first. But this may represent a part of you that feels very urgent about things, or maybe you're dealing with a person who feels very urgent about things. And that sense of urgency can actually be really distracting right now. As the sun comes into this opposition with Neptune, urgency is great, but it's going to be hard to be motivated by urgency this week with Neptune. We need to pace ourselves. That's why Page of Wands. The other thing I'm feeling... Hold on. Because I'm looking at that Page of Wands reversed directly underneath the Emperor, and what I'm feeling is insecurity. That Page of Wands is resistant to take a step forward because of some reasoning that you've set forward in your mind. I also feel like this Knight of Swords is someone who is demanding something of you. There are a lot of people looking at you. There are a lot of people working with you. There are a lot of people trying to get something from you or talk to you or access you or something. And I feel like, okay, there's all this wonderful Emperor energy and you know that this is you, but there's that creeping in voice right now. Creeping in voice, the doubt. Can you really do it? Okay, that voice needs to be addressed. And I'm not saying to completely shun it, and I'm not saying to completely get rid of it or anything like that, but it's just like, it has to be put in its place as just a fear. Because as far as I can tell with the 6 of Coins and the 8 of Coins, everything seems to be working out. Everything seems to be evening out. There's no reason to be insecure. It's just you may be pulling back. And Neptune tends to do that. Okay, Neptune tends to put us in that state because he reminds us of the impermanence of things. And when the sun is involved, it's even reminding us of the impermanence of our own self, the impermanence of this personality, the impermanence of this life, of this mission, of this experience here on earth. And so there's kind of this question of like, oh, well, then what's even the point? So you may come in contact with that. Oh, what's even the point? And you may want to cower to that, or you may want to give in to that. But again, an emperor won't. I don't see that you will. I just see that there's that temptation there. And then we also have this fact that people are wanting something from you. And so you may want to kind of go into your hole even more, because it's like the more people try to get at you, the more you try to run away. Or it's like, it can be scary because it can be a lot. This can feel like a lot. It can feel abrasive and it can feel aggressive and just like, it can feel uncomfortable. But I think more than anything, this energy coming at you while it may trigger the insecurities, what it actually should do is show you how valuable you actually are. The more people that want to get at you, that want to do business with you, that want to talk to you, that want to be a part of your life and a part of your businesses and a part of what you have going on, the more people that are like that, the more you realize, oh wow, I really do have a purpose here. Okay, so that's why the organization is probably that much more important. People are relying on you. People care. People are watching. They are paying attention. One part of you may want to hide away from that. And the other part of you, the part of you that wins, is going to stand firm and say, okay, I have a responsibility. I have accountability here. I already put something in motion and I have to carry through. So it's going to solidify your commitment, I think. So this is an interesting week because of that Sun-Neptune opposition. Okay, soulmates. Now, I feel that that Knight of Swords is a soulmate, but not in like a love of your life type of deal, although it could be. But I feel that this is someone here or a group of people that have to be kind of coming at you like this, very Mars and Gemini-like. They have to be coming at you in order to get you to stand firm on your Emperor's throne. All right. This is a point in your story of destiny. And it's a very important point. It's a point where you get to choose. And the choice is obvious when it's on paper in front of you. Obviously, you're going to choose the Emperor. But when you're in the mix of it here, Seven of Cups, may not always feel that obvious. But your empowerment, your ability to guide and lead and teach and show and provide, all of those things, that's why you're here. You're actually really helping people. These people may feel like a nuisance, but they are helping you. Okay. A fiery climax approaches. Beautiful. You are building. Something is building up. When we say a fiery climax, it means something big is about to happen. Something big for you. You're about to blow up. You're about to be seen. You're about to be recognized. You're about to meet that love of your life. You're about to, that kind of energy is what is building. And again, it has been really building since springtime when you planted all sorts of seeds. But in Leo season and throughout Virgo season, we've just gotten even that much closer. Okay, so you are coming to a point of conclusion, which is fantastic. And you are going to have the answers that you seek and that you need. And you're going to have that validation and solidification of your path. Okay? All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Again, don't forget, if you are a subscriber, please log into the blog. Just log in, go to the blog page, and you will see the extended for the week for each zodiac sign. All right, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 3. You guys selected the Golden Universal Tarot deck. So let's go ahead and start with pulling out 3 cards at first. We have 7 of Wands, 4 of Coins, 4 of Swords reversed. Okay. All 3 piles are really similar. I feel like then I think this has a lot to do with the Sun coming into opposition with Neptune. Like, we have to really fight for what we started. Right? Like, we started something. We started a project. We started a new path. We started a new relationship. We started whatever. And that 7 of Wands says, like, you got to stand up for it. Like, you believe in this. You want this. You've agreed to it. You've put yourself in this situation. Like, you have to really fight for it. You have to fight to remain committed, to keep that conviction going. There's a lot of stability with this 4 of Coins that you're like establishing. I feel like you're in the process of establishing stability, but that stability is not yet established. So you may still feel kind of all over the place, right? Four of Swords reversed. You may not be in the most peaceful state of mind right now. You may be feeling very busy. Mars and Gemini, yes. Virgo season, yes, of course. And I feel like this week, as this Sun-Neptune opposition is building, that confusion may really kind of seep in a little bit, and that doubt. There may be that feeling of like, well, if everything in life is impermanent, then what the heck am I even doing? And I'd rather just revert back because it wasn't really that bad the way it used to be. And it really wasn't that bad at that job. And it wasn't that bad and blah, 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 blah. Right? All the stories we tell ourselves, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what the point of this year is. This year, 2022, was about establishing what we truly value in this life and aligning ourselves with that thing. So whether we truly value freedom of time, whether we value our families, right? Do we value our peace of mind, right? What is it that we truly value? And making choices and life decisions that align with that, to help us to live a more fulfilled and joyful and loving life. A life where we can truly be our most authentic self without trying to fit in with any sort of construct that was set for us. It was about reaching new levels of autonomy and reaching new levels of individuality and really embracing our uniqueness and our one-of-a-kindness. And so we have made strides in that. We've made certain decisions. We've chosen new kinds of paths. And this is kind of a time where people are going to give up if they don't really understand what's happening. They're going to give up and they're going to allow, especially as we approach that vernal equinox, right? Beginning of Libra season, the night starts to take over the day. We start to have longer nights. We start to have winter time. It starts to change. Things get cold. And our endeavors can go cold too. So that's why Virgo season was so much about preparation, because we had to prepare for that. And mentally preparing for that was a big part of it. We had to mentally prepare because we knew that we were going to have to utilize our own determination to continue going forward. That there wasn't going to be a lot of external, motivation. We were going to have to conjure that up within ourselves. And the more of a mission and more committed to our mission we are, the easier that will be. Queen of Wands. Don't forget why you're doing this. Don't forget what's really mattering to you. Yeah, we have that Strength card. As much as I love emotion is a beautiful thing. It's magical, it's powerful, and it plays a big part in manifestation. There's no doubt. Anyone would tell you that. It plays a big part in manifestation, but there are times when emotion is just fear. There are times when emotion is just trying, like kind of an egoic part of you, just trying to get you to go back to what's comfortable and what is known. And so there are times when we have to kind of bypass the emotion and utilize the power of our mind to kind of get us over this hump. And I feel like the Sun opposite Neptune, it is a big hump of energy. And we kind of have to like leverage ourselves and heave ourselves over that, because it is kind of a big, it can be a big setback if we let it. But I don't think you will. We got the Queen of Wands, who's more determined than anyone else. She's an Aries card, so she's all about action and doing and just kind of going. She's fiery, spontaneous, impulsive, and she's dedicated, right? So when she has her eye set on a target, she is just like unstoppable with that. And so we have to tap into that within ourselves. We have to overcome our beast, if you will, with that lion in this card. We have to overcome that animalistic, survivalist part of us And we have to kind of elevate and transcend it and embrace the growth that is really trying to happen. We have to understand that growth is trying to happen. And we have to provide an environment for that. And we have to move our bodies, and we have to do the tasks, and we have to check things off the checklist. And with the 7 of Coins reversed, we also have to know that being in an Earth season, results don't show up right away. And you're not going to have the results, and you may not even finish the thing during this time. Virgo season, Taurus season, and Capricorn season, right? Our Earth seasons are really, really, really good for kind of putting things together, right? We structure them. We can strategize during these times, but we also have to put things in place. We develop the system. We put together the machine. Because when we put together the machine, that's when things can start really going through really, really fast, right? We're kind of like creating... I'm kind of like in it's Virgo season. So I always envision the Virgo domicile as being like an assembly line, right? And now we have all of these robotics, right? So we develop these machines to do the jobs to make our lives easier. So, and I know that's kind of like an industrial way of looking at it, but if you look at that in terms of your own life, let's say you want to write the book, right? So write the book, because you know that once the book is written, then you can just sell it over and over and over and over. You don't have to keep rewriting it, right? So that's just kind of an analogy for you to use. So whatever you need to do to make your life easier may be a lot of work up front with zero payout. But man, oh man, is it going to make your life better in the long run? Is it going to leverage your path a lot more? It's going to help to support your path. So it is purposeful, and I think it's the purpose of this structure that you are assembling, which is what's going to carry you over this hump, because you see the value in this structure. You see the value in this machine that you are assembling. All right, so it's a beautiful time to just keep going. And yes, you'll have doubt, and yes, you'll have emotion, and yes, you'll want to revert back, and yes, it'll be tiring, and all the things that you don't want to hear, but it's going to be very short-lived, because once we hit Libra season, it's going to be a lot better. So going into next week and beyond, things are really going to start to shift over for us. So this is kind of like a last final push of Virgo season, like just keep going. We only have 10 more degrees for the sun to travel through here, and then it hits Libra. All right, so just keep going. All right, let's take a look here at some of the oracle cards for you. Yin, very receptive, divine, feminine energy. Now, I'm talking a lot about masculine things, like actually performing tasks and doing things, but the receptive component of that is the intuitive part, right? Because you intuitively know that this is going to be good later on. You intuitively know that this is to your benefit. You are being guided by your intuition. That's why you are where you are. That's why you're here, because your intuition led you here. And you're going to continue to allow yourself to be led, okay? And it's time to take, all of these moon cards, it's all about time to take action, but also yin. It's kind of separate, it's kind of opposite. A lot of these moon cards have been more action-oriented or about coming into conclusions with things. And with the time to take action, you already know that. You already know it. You already feel it. You're already attuned and aligned with that. So that's not a surprise, because your yin energy, your divine feminine component, has guided you here. You know exactly what steps need to be taken. You know exactly what needs to be done. You know even what order they need to be done in, right? So it's just a matter of doing it and staying consistent. Your emotion, while powerful, right now, it is not reliable. Your emotion is not telling you to go in the right direction, because Neptune is wanting you to dissolve things. But when the sun comes off of Neptune, you're going to be really glad you didn't dissolve things. You're going to be really happy that you kept going and kept chugging through. And this is going to be like a real test of the will and the willpower that we have. And we're going to get to know ourselves a lot this week. That's for sure. Okay? All right, pile number 3. Now, a quick reminder again, if you are a subscriber of any level on my website, please log in and take a look at the weekly extended readings that are available on the blog. So just log in and navigate to the blog. And that's it. All right. I love you guys. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.